Hello everybody, it's me, the Real Locomaniac. I'm back again with another 8-Bit Wars. And today's 8-Bit War will be the classic arcade game by Sega. Now this is probably one of my favourite arcade games. It's not necessarily aged well, but I'm not going to talk about the way it looks like now. I'm going to talk more about the way I experienced it when I first played it back in the days. Now you've got a choice of 3 different characters there. You've got the barbarian guy, which is built like me. You've got the short little dwarf guy with the big beard, and you've got that big boobed Amazonian woman. Incidentally, she got her own game on the Xbox 360. Now, I always pick the barbarian guy, so I'll pick him. Now, I believe I first played this game back in the days, when I was probably about, 11 or 10. My school used to take us to school trips down to Margate by the seafront. Now, a lot of the kids used to like going on all the rides down at Ben Bon Brothers, but me in particular, I used to just like hanging around playing the arcade games, and I remember playing this game, and I absolutely loved it. Now, the reason why I loved this game was because I was a big fan of the Conan films, and this game really made me feel like a badass barbarian. It just made me feel tough, you know. And this game had everything, you know, like the young me would have liked, which, you know, is 3 playable characters. Each character's got different sort of special powers at the end. Creatures you can ride on and stuff, and the graphics were pretty good for its day, you know. I give it credit. It hasn't got the greatest sort of set of moves, but it had enough. Oh yeah, not forgetting, it was co-op as well, so you could play 2 players at the same time, which was, you know, I loved. So I used to love playing this game. Now I always used to think, so what's this going to convert like to the 8-bit computers? And I'll show you exactly what I thought about those versions in a bit. Now, that little creature there also appears in, what's it called? Altered Beast. I will be doing another Altered Beast somewhere down the line. Now guys, some of you probably do know that I originally did this video quite a while ago on my old YouTube channel, but that's no longer around, so I'll be doing each 8-Bit War once again, plus loads more. Anyway, this is the arcade version. It's Golden Axe. Righty, this is Golden Axe on the ZX Spectrum, ZX or ZX, what do you call it? I'm not too sure. There's a choice of characters on the Speccy. Right, now there is our barbarian, not looking quite as buffed up and muscular like he was in the arcade game. There's no music in this version, only on the title screen, which is, I've got to give it credit, it is pretty good. It's a nice rendition of the Golden Axe theme. Now, it's nicely coloured, this game. You know, it's most of the games when you consider are all sort of just either blue and black, you know, or just 2 colours basically. But this has got full of colour, and there's no colour clash. The only thing is though, our little hero there, our barbarian there, looks like he's running around naked. He looks like he's got no pants on. He's just wearing his boots. So if you ever wanted to play the part of a barbarian in boots wearing nothing else, the Speccy version's a version for you. Now, out of all the versions, out of the 8-bit versions, Barbarian on the Speccy probably plays the fastest. It's not necessarily the greatest version, because I know some of you guys out there think, you know, I'm a Speccy fanboy and I'm a bit thinking about the Speccy, but nope. I'm going to try and call it straight down the middle, you know, like who is the winner, good and proper. Yeah, and I think it's got the less characters on screen at the same time, this version. Alrighty then, this is Golden Axe on the good old Amstrad. Now it's a nice rendition there of the music there, and this is a great version. Now it looks pretty similar to the Spectrum version, I've got to give it that, but it's got shitloads more colour, and it looks really good for it. It looks really solid, whereas the Spectrum looked, I don't know, a bit empty. This does feel, it feels pretty good actually. It looks like pretty much like the arcade game, but a little bit titchier. I do love the use of colour in this game. It does really stand out. It's really bright, and it's just... The only thing is that, don't you think the main sprite there, the barbarian, looks like Lion-O from the Thundercats? I've always thought he looked like Lion-O from the Thundercats. I love that show. Shame about the crappy games, you know, Thundercats. Alright, so this version plays pretty much exactly the same as the Spectrum version, but a little bit slower. Now, it looks like it is more difficult, but guys, it's not really. For some reason, I don't know why. I'm struggling to get any further on this version now. I did do a little test run of it earlier on, and pretty much it was pretty much the same difficulty level as the speccy version. Now I do love this game, guys. There's just something about Golden Axe. If you are looking for a decent conversion of Golden Axe, the Sega Mega Drive had a good conversion, and the Sega Master System also had a good conversion, but the Mega Drive is pretty much arcade perfect. But before the Mega Drive, there were 3 machines that I had: Spectrum, Amstrad, and the Commodore 64, and this is what I had to make do with, basically. And I've got to give it credit. I mean, all 3 versions are pretty accurate to the arcade games. I mean, the arcade game, if you think about it now, it is pretty simple. The graphics aren't overly fantastic. You simply move around, hack and slash, typical beat 'em up sort of thing. And I think the programmers did a good job in converting all 3 different versions to our home computers. Now, let me think. A question of the day then. Right. So my question of the day is today, guys. What is your favourite scrolling beat 'em up or scrolling hack 'em up? Now, I've said it many a times. My favourite scrolling beat 'em up ever has to be either Streets of Rage 2 or maybe Target Renegade. So guys, I'd like to know yours. Right, now here we go, the Commodore 64 version of Golden Axe. It's got some amazing music. It really does. And as always with the Commodore 64, you've got the choice to have the game with sound effects or music. I always go for the music. It's got to be done that way. Now, the use of colour here, I'm not entirely too keen on. It looks like they started the game and they thought, you know what, that'll do. I can't be asked to colour it in anymore. Or they ran out of time, one of the two. But the music is superb. It is the only version out of the 3 versions that I played, or I showed you the 8-bit versions, that actually has music throughout the game. Now don't get me wrong, the music on the Amstrad and the Spectrum on the title screen is fantastic, it really is. But it can't compare to the good old SID chip. It's really good, guys. Now this seems to be a lot easier than the Amstrad speccy version, I think, so far. And you'll notice a few different things different from this version than the other 2 versions of the arcade. One of the monsters that you can ride on is slightly different. It doesn't actually appear in the arcade and the other versions until at least, what, level 2 or level 3? But guys, you've got to listen to that music. How fantastic is that? That is absolutely superb. So guys, coming up soon on my YouTube channel, I've got loads more 8-bit wars. I've just been a little bit preoccupied because I haven't been feeling very well, and once again I will be moving flat, so I'll actually be moving this Saturday the 6th, so it will probably take me about a week and a bit before I upload anything else. But I've got Shinobi 8-bit wars coming up. I've got some Sega vs Nintendo 8-bit wars, Sega vs Nintendo 16-bit wars. I've got some WTF, which is WTF a Chase HQ, Commodore 64, not the arcade game, guys. I'm not a big fan of Chase HQ on the C64. And I've got loads of videos. I'm actually going to try and do some movie reviews at some point. I've always wanted to do a movie review just using my sort of random rambling style. Guys, also check out the 1 Hour Monthly podcast show. It's out. Me and Phil recorded it, I think, on Saturday, and it's out now on iTunes, or it's out on the site, which is www.onehourmonthlypodcastshow.co.uk. Now, okay, it's time to pick a winner. Hope you guys will agree with me, but I am going to go for the Amstrad. See you guys next time. Goodbye.